Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Butterfly Brilliance fancy closure card. Okay, so you'll see here the butterfly, you fold the wings up and it goes through the slot like that. And it's a really sweet way to close your card. So a couple of things to note here. Sadly, this gorgeous paper was while stocks last and it sold out really quickly, but I do have a pack here. In fact, I have a pack and almost a full pack. So if anyone from the UK wants to buy it from me, you're very welcome to. First come, first serve. So you can see I've been chopping out butterflies here. So obviously that's not one of the packs, but it's just to give you an idea of the various patterns in here. So this is a new offering that, oh, bit of light on that one. It's not in the current annual catalogue or the mini catalogue, but it will be in the new catalogue, and it's currently available as a bundle. Now, the thing to know about this stamp set is it comes as one piece. So this is great if you've got a stamper artist to use as a background stamp. You can ink it up. If it doesn't come out evenly, you can do it again. So I'm probably going to do a stamper artist class at some point because it's a really useful tool to have. You can chop these. You can, with really sharp scissors, go round, leave a good edge around the butterfly like these are here, and you can separate these out. I'm probably going to do a video soon of how to do that. I've got another stamp set that's just crying out for that to happen, so just bear that in mind if you do buy these. But of course, gorgeous images anyway, and you could just ink one up and use that bit, but it's quite sizable stamp to use. So with the dies, you get a background one as well, so this will perfectly cut out the stamps as they are. But if you do chop them about, you can still cut out the individual ones by, you know, putting in a piece of cardstock underneath or something. And then you get some gorgeous detailed ones as well. I've actually got one missing out of here that I'm using to, ooh, maybe it's on the next layer down. But you get lots, sorry for the noise, lots and lots of these gorgeous butterflies in this stamp. And the detailed ones are all individual, so they're really lovely to cut as well. Right, so enough about those. Let's show you the supplies. And of course, you could do this style of card with other things, with flowers, with other designer series paper, whatever you want to do. So let's get the stamp set off my notes so I can read the measurements here. So you need a piece of basic white, thick basic white cardstock, and this measures 5 3/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches, and I've scored it here at 2 5/8 of an inch. Okay, then you need a piece of basic black cardstock, and this measures 5 1/2 inches by 2 3/8. The designer series paper measures 5 1/4 by 2 1/8, so they're going to layer up there. So I'm a bit in mourning because we've had the retiring list, we've had the new catalogue come through as demonstrators, and these stitched shapes, which are, you know, I use so much in my videos, I use so much that this is my cover to them. So you can see how well used it is. So you get the circles, the squares, and the ovals. They're retiring, and I'm really sad, but you know, we have to make way for new things in the catalogue. So this is the largest one if you have them and you want to recreate them. Sadly, they're sold out now. So the largest one I've cut in basic white, and then I've cut a basic black square in 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So of course you could just cut squares anyway if you don't have the dies. I'm still in mourning that we had a colour a few years ago that disappeared from the catalogue when they did a colour refresh, and they don't do that very often, called Elegant Eggplant. It was my favourite purple, and I still haven't quite got over the fact it's not in the catalogue anymore. Anyway, move on, Tracy, come on. So I've cut, and if you've got this in a kit from me, I've cut not very well. You need to cut these, you need to fussy cut them, butterflies for you. So you'll either get this one or this one, both gorgeous. And that's it, I think, for the supplies for now. So I'll go ahead and show you how to make it. So like I said, I've already gone and scored this card. I'm just going to fold it here. There we go, just give it a little burnish. And then we're going to layer up the designer series paper onto this piece of basic black cardstock. So just with some Tombow glue here. I hope you're all doing okay. Here in the UK, lockdown's lifting a little bit more in a couple of days, to the point where we can sit outside. If you've got a nice pub garden, maybe you've got a heated area at your local pub, or restaurants also, if they have an outside area, and a few other things are opening up. So it's kind of looking a little bit more positive, although the weather's been a bit crazy recently. We've had really warm weather and then we've had snow, so yeah, crazy times. Okay, so this is then going to layer on top of this opening flap here. So go ahead and stick that on. And I'm really sorry that the retiring products that I've used on this card have now sold out quite often if something's reduced. You may have seen it on my newsletter that there was a retiring list, and some of the items are reduced, and the reduced items tend to sell out quite quickly. So I'm really sorry if this is something you think, oh, I desperately want that and I haven't got it. They're not available now, but we might be able to find a way to do it another way. Okay, so if you have this in my kit, I've already done this bit for you, because if you didn't have Sob, another retiring product, classic label punch, I use this so much, so I'm really sad this is going, but there are some other fantastic punches coming into the new catalogue, which I can't show you yet. I can show you the outside of the catalogue, but I'm not allowed to show you any of the inside pages. Yeah, so this one's retiring, sadly sold out as well. I know some of you have it though. So if you have this in a kit, I've already done this next stage for you. Now, punches on the whole don't like really going through 2 layers of cardstock, and that's what is happening here. So I've stuck them together. So you can do this individually, or you can do it, you can get away with doing it together. So I'm just going to show you that way. So I'm just going to glue the stitched shape onto the black one. Now, if you were doing this individually, which would be the way Stampin' Up would say to do it to protect your punch really, just do this in separate stages, and I'll show you a way to line them up afterwards. Now, in order to get this equal, it's really hard on this punch, because once this slides in, I've kind of lost it. There's no way for me to hold it. So a little tip for you here, if you take a post-it note, I've got some here, and just center that. It doesn't have to be particularly centered going this way, but across this way, roughly center that. And this just gives you a little kind of holder. And then what you're going to do, you're going to drop this as far as it will go into the punch and center the post-it. Can you see here at the top, center, so you've got an even space either side, and oh, it's a bit stiff. Give it a punch. Like I say, on the whole, punches don't like having that done to them. So the way to do it otherwise, I'll just show you here on another piece of cardstock. Let's pop that one in. So say this was your white piece and this is what you wanted to do, and then you were to stick it onto, I've got another piece here just hanging around. It might have to be the same colour, I'm afraid. So say, and this is completely the wrong size, so say I was going to stick this onto this other piece, and this was going to be the bit we're layering up. Then you can see this gap here. It's not a very good example because obviously they're the same colour, but what you would then do is drop this in and line up that section that you've, by using this, line up the section that you've already punched away, and then punch, and then that will get them lined up. So that's the way to do it officially. Okay, so this edge here, this one here, is going to pretty much line up with this folded edge here, and centralize top to bottom. So about here. If it's over slightly, not the end of the world. The only reason I've kind of done it there is that when we put the butterfly on, we want it to fit in the envelope, so we can't go too far that way. So I just used that as a guide. So basically you're looking about there. And I've put dimensionals on the back of this piece here. So let's go ahead and put some, so just on the kind of wider section on the back. Okay, take these off. Right, so we're going to line this up. I'm going to try and do it without getting my head in the camera. So roughly about there. Okay, so you don't see the dimensionals on this side, and this is opening nice and freely. With the butterflies, you do have a little bit of work here to do if you have this in your kit. If you're stamping it yourself and you've got the dies, brilliant, because you can cut them out. But these are actually really easy to cut out. And what I've done for Mr. Butterfly here, I've chopped off his antennae, and you know what I mean, the little, these little bits. Antenna. It's not antennae, that's like a computery thing. Okay, so the best thing to do is to move the paper rather than your scissors. And you can see I've started this one because obviously you don't want to spend the whole video watching me cut. But it's just, if you keep moving the paper, that's the easiest way to fussy cut. And that's what we call this. So there we go. I've also cut a more detailed one here that corresponds with this size. And if you've got this butterfly, you'll have the corresponding one. It will come and you still have bits from the die cut in it. So if you just kind of wiggle it around a little bit, it's quite robust. Don't go crazy, but, and then if you've got an odd bit that's a bit stubborn, just take your scissors and just pop that out. I think that's all of the, oh, one hanging on there. All of those pieces done. So you can see they're really pretty detail on here. Now you can, if you're stamping it, you can put it over the top here. I just really did this as a bit of reinforcement just to keep this butterfly from, you know, it wants to close up because this is quite heavy cardstock here. So I'm actually going to put it on the back. And then also when people open it, they've got nice detail on the back here as well. Okay, so flip him over. Now these won't line up perfectly. He'll have some overhang on the back. But just turn it to whichever way fits best. And on the cutout one, you're going to just put some glue, and try not to put too much, just where there's kind of bigger gaps, or sorry, bigger areas to pop the glue on. Don't put it in the gaps or else you'll get really sticky table. It doesn't matter if you don't have it completely stuck down, and actually it's quite nice if it kind of flaps up a little bit, but just a few bits like that. And then, whoops, if I can get it up, stick it to the back of your designer series paper, and you'll see that I've left, oops, he's not quite straight, I'm going to pick him up. You can see on this one I've left his antenna. I don't know why I'm having such trouble with that word tonight. I've left that on. Okay, so let that dry a little bit, and like I say, you will get extra bits of the butterfly showing, and you can wiggle around, but really once it's on the card it doesn't really show. It's just for strength really. And then what you want to do is kind of fold either side of his body. So I just put my finger on there and just bend it slightly. It doesn't have to be a real big crease. I just bend him up, so you want his body to stay flat like that. Okay, and the way we're going to stick him down, you need to just check before you stick. What we're going to do in a minute, we're going to stick some glue here and then just stick him down and hold him for a while. But before you position him, and it will be pretty central on here, you just need to make sure that as you pull up this, that the wings will fit through. If you're too high up, you're going to get stuck, or too low down. So just find the position where it will comfortably go through the hole here, and then use that as your guide as to wait to put your butterfly. So have a little practice before you put your glue on. Glue on the back. You could also put tear and tape here, but it needs to be something strong to hold him in place. I'm just putting it on his body because obviously we need the wings to come up. you know, I know you're going to be having to pause me because you're fussy cutting your butterfly, which you're probably cursing me for a little bit. So I'm going to put him there. Again, have a quick check before the glue sets. Yeah, that's going to be fine. And I've just moved him over. It's not so handy. There we go. Let's leave him there. So really leave it to dry. Maybe put something on there to keep him pressed down. Punches work really, really well for that. So I'm going to bring this one back in and just leave him on there. In the meantime as well, you will have a smaller butterfly, one of these, and you can cut that one out as well. A little bit fiddly, but you know, worth the effort. I've actually lost mine. I do this all the time. I can't even see the papers, I don't think, to cut another one out. Oh yeah, I can. I've got one. Here we go. So while that's drying, I can show you here. Again, just move the scissors around. And on this one, I've kind of made him more into a moth as well because I've cut those bits off. I'm not going to even try and say the word again. There we go. So we're just moving around. And if you don't fancy putting this one on, leave him off. It's fine. You know, it's your card to choose. There we go. Okay, and again, I've folded him up a bit because I quite like the wings being able to come up to give it a bit of a 3D effect. Okay, so he should be dry. Flip this one over, and you can either pop a glue dot on the back or just a little bit of glue. Whoa, or a lot of glue. Try not to put too much on. It's a new glue that I've got here, and it's a bit keen to come out. So there we go. So just popping that one up there, just to really fill a bit of space. And then also retiring are these enamel dots. So these are the in colours for this year. So every year we get a new set of in colours that lasts for 2 years. So the outgoing ones at the moment are Seaside Spray, Purple Posy, Pretty Peacock, those colours. The ones from last year are staying another year, like Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Just Jade. That's these ones, but also with the new year brings new embellishments. And I have to say, the embellishments and packaging in the new catalogue, I love, love, love. Very excited about those. So I pulled out the colours that I could kind of coordinate with the designer series paper here. So we've got, even though this probably isn't Bumblebee, it's, you know, yellow. So I'm going to take this one, pop it down here. Little Magenta Madness, that is actually in the colours. Here. And then this is Just Jade. And actually that is in the colours as well. So maybe this is, I think that's going to be more like Crushed Curry or maybe Daffodil Delight. I could be wrong. So there we go, that one there. And there you have it. This is your fancy closure butterfly Brilliance card. So I hope you've enjoyed making that. Something different to try, and I'm sure whoever, I can't get my back through, whoever you send it to will really enjoy getting that fancy card through. Take care, see you soon, bye.